What's going on, Buff Nation? Welcome back to another video. Great first half there by the Buffs. Up 24-17 against the Arizona Cats right now. Everything seems to be clicking. Right before Coach Prime went into the locker room, he said, look, it's the first game in a very long time where it feels like special team, defense, and offense. We're all here together to get the job done defensively. You got to stop the big explosion. Even Coach Prime said that. They've been able to get some big runs off, some big pass games off, but the quarterback for Arizona hasn't looked extremely comfortable. You got to continue to bring pressure to him, force him to throw the football, and see if you can continue to get turnovers. I would have to say your strongest part of your defense has got to be the cornerback in your secondary. So continue to get balls back there to allow them to capitalize on it. Obviously, hitting hard, playing hard. That's something I've been saying for the last 3 weeks now, is that the Buffs defense has been playing extremely passionate, extremely focused, and it's starting to pay off here. Look, he said, Coach Prime just said, I don't know what we're going to say to them going into the second half here. It's a great question. What are you going to say to them going into that second half? Because obviously what's coming kind of creeping up in the back of your mind is that Stanford game a little bit. But this game's got to have a little more pizzazz to it. You're taking on a top 25 team. You got to feel that the juice should be there, right? You shouldn't have to get excited for this. You should be excited. You should be ready to rock and roll. The defense is rocking and rolling. Charles Kelly has been hell of a play call thus far. Again, the line of scrimmage, my concern right now is if Arizona continues to run the ball as effectively as they have been, that's where things will start to get concerning, right? So we'll see how that continues to play out. Obviously, the line is getting beat up a little bit from the Arizona side. This game reminds me a little bit like Nebraska and TCU, right? It's like, look, Colorado's kind of firing on all cylinders, but they seem to still have mistakes and some errors, and the team's still getting the best of them. But this game kind of reminds me of that thus far. Let's head into the second part of the show here, where, look, the offensive play calling is starting to look a little bit better, right? And that's something that obviously is going to be talked about for weeks on end, with them making the change from Sean Lewis to Pat Schumer. Running the football, we've gotten more runs. We have running the ball a little bit more, not as much, right? Still not as much as I would think people would like. If you look at the line, it's as if they're forcing them to run the football. They're still not. They've got without Shedeur running the football, just over 10 carries for running so far. Still 21 attempts passing, over 189 yards passing for Shedeur Sanders. But look, I feel like if you see what's happening here, run the football, right? The ability is there. Keep them honest. Think about it. Arizona, and we all know they are throwing the football, and they are still slicing them up. For the most part, Shedeur Sanders is having to do a lot with his legs to keep the play alive, to keep everything moving. But take a look. If you're able to run the ball effectively, keep them honest, it's going to open things up for those wide receivers and for Shedeur Sanders. So we'll see how those things change. I don't think you should slow down any. Keep that up tempo. Keep slinging the football. But from time to time, toss in a run play. I felt like there was at one point they had like 8 guys in the box. I mean, they were stacked, almost as if they knew they were going to run the football. And I was like, this is a perfect time to sling a little slant route. They ran the ball, got absolutely pegged. So I would like to see some more checkdowns in that regards, again, from the offense and see. But it's going to be a big topic of discussion if they come out here and continue to have the success that they're having. And, with what Pat Schumer. Now, obviously, talks of Sean Lewis. Is he going to continue to be on the team? There was an article that we went over earlier this week that talked about Sean Lewis not going to be a part of the team next week or next year. Again, that was just kind of their, how they're feeling about the situation. I don't know if that's the case yet, but if Pat Schumer comes in and they get a W under his second time calling a game against a top 25 team, I'm not saying anything is going to happen this drastic this week. Obviously, I have to go to the end of the year, but I definitely start to see a shakeup for sure. But again, still haven't seen a lot of running the ball. And from what Coach Prime said in his press conference, it's like, look, we're all sitting here together. It's just who's kind of calling it a little bit different tempo. That's the only thing I've really seen change thus far from what Sean Lewis was doing. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Look, the refs, there were some questionable calls. The last late hit there on Shedeur Sanders, low on the legs. I try not to get too involved with the refs calling because it's always disgusting any which way you look at it. They are running the ball, which is what everyone's complaining about. They've ran the ball with Savion Wilkerson 5 times, Dylan Edwards 3 times, and Anthony Hankerson 2 times. So they're running it more than what they were. Yes, I'll give you a nod there, Jake, that they are running it more. Still not enough, I believe, to where they can still be effective, right? I feel like if they did run the ball more, it would be effective. I'm not saying run the ball because passing is working. Passing is working. I want them to run the ball to keep them honest and make that D-line to just, and the cornerbacks to bite a little bit more to allow for Shedeur and Travis and Jimmy Horn to connect more so those guys can break out in space. That's all that I'm saying. I think they can start seeing a little bit more of that. as for the second half, what to expect, right? That's the big thing, what to look for. Defensively, Coach Prime said it can't allow, the big explosive plays. How do we keep the game in front of us? I feel like, again, their quarterback look like he's seeing a ghost out there. If I'm Charles Kelly, how do I continue to disrupt that? How do I force them to throw the ball, force them to beat me in the pass game? For running wise, they're slicing you up left and right on the line. Stack the box a little bit, force them to throw, beat them with your best positions. Your cornerback play and your safety play is your best attribute on defense. Make them beat you there. I haven't seen it yet. A few big plays every here and there, that's going to happen. You're going to have to expect those things, but make them beat you there. And then again, I would say offensively, don't change up too much. Offensive line is definitely holding up a lot better. Shedeur is still running for his life. Let's not get it twisted here. But I feel, in my opinion, it seems that it's picked up from where it ended last week. Last week, it felt like the second half, they started playing a little better. The offensive line was holding up. They're still going to get through. Shedeur Sanders is still going to be running for his life, especially when everybody knows how you are throwing it. They're just going to bring 4 every single time and keep applying that pressure. So I think if they can run the ball a little bit, allow for the thing to be a little more honest, I think Shedeur Sanders can flourish. Being up 24-17 is absolutely huge against a team like Arizona. Again, coming into this ranked, it was personal. Upshaw getting a big hit on Shedeur earlier, and even Mata was talking a little smack after he kicked his field goal to one of the linemen. I don't know what caused it to happen, but he was chirping a little bit, which I love to see. Anytime a kicker gets a little fired up after a big kick, a big 40-yarder to go into half, to give them, again, that 24-17 lead here. So, going to be exciting coming out in the second half. If you guys are having a hard time watching, it's all over YouTube, so be sure to check that stuff out. And we'll see. Is Shedeur going to get over 300? He's at 189 right now. I think if the Buffs win, Shedeur is easily going to throw for 300 yards. That's just my feeling, unless they come out with a little bit more of a balance to the run. I would say right now it's maybe 80-20, 80 passing, 20 running, maybe. Yeah, I'll say that. I would like to see 70-30. Not too much more. Just keep them honest on defense to allow the offense to continue to explode. Boys and girls, be sure to smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new here, if you guys are enjoying this content. Hope you guys enjoyed this halftime report. We're going to get back out there now because there should be a hustling onto the football field in about 5 or 10 minutes or so. So grab a snack, have some fun, and we'll see you guys after the game.